Endangered species is a species that is very likely to become extinct in the near future, either worldwide or in a particular political jurisdiction. Endangered species may be at risk due to factors such as habitat loss, poaching, and invasive species. The National Wildlife Federation talks about how the endangered species list is managed under the Endangered Species Act, also known as the ESA. The ESA was enacted by Congress in 1973. Under the ESA, the federal government has the responsibility to protect endangered species, threatened species, which means that they're likely to become endangered in the near future, and critical habitats, which means their habitats are just almost gone. The Endangered Species Act has saved many of our native fish, plants, and other wildlife from becoming extinct. 10 of the most famous endangered species, according to the website Britannica, are 1. The giant panda, which has been due to disease and poaching. 2 is the tiger, which their habitats have just been ruined, and also due to poaching. A lot of these have been due to poaching just because people are hunting all these animals and causing them to become endangered. 3 is the whooping crane, which they've been hunted and their habitat's been lost. 4 is the blue whale, which this one's actually kind of different because they have become endangered due to getting entangled in fishing nets and ship collisions. Next is the sea otter, which it's been hunted for its fur. Next is the Asian elephant, which it's been poached for its ivory, meat, and skin. Next is the snow leopard, and they actually prey on domestic animals. So these farmers that rely on these domestic animals for their farm actually have went out and shot these snow leopards, which I don't really blame them because they need their animals and the snow leopards are killing them, but it's just sad that they've become endangered due to it. Next is the gorilla, and they've actually had a loss of habitat and poaching, but they reproduce very slowly. They only have a kid one time every 4 years. A female gorilla only gives birth that often. So they just on top of poaching and losing their habitat, they've just become endangered over the years. Next was the Tasmanian devil, and they actually had a contagious cancer called the devil facial tumor disease. I didn't know that was a thing, but there's only so many left of them Tasmanian devils because this disease has just wiped out nearly 60% of them. Next is the orangutan, and they actually have become endangered due to logging, and they've been captured for this thing called the exotic pet trade, which I didn't even know was a thing, but they've become endangered because of it. Next, the World Animal Foundation says the 5 major causes of declining wildlife are habitat loss, invasive species, pollution and pesticides, population growth, and overhunting. Well, first is habitat loss, which had a lot to do with deforestation. So people are coming in and cutting down all these trees and stuff, and all these animals are just losing their homes. Like they've live in these trees and they're just cutting them all down. Next is invasive species, which actually is a species that degrades native habitats and competes with other wildlife for food, water, shelter, and space. Next is pollution and pesticides, so just pollution, like climate change and people just throwing out their garbage, and like in the ocean, like sea turtles swallow your garbage or it's causing them to die. And then population growth, which actually has a lot to do with humans. Humans are overpopulating, they're tearing down trees, they're making roads, building buildings and stuff, and just taking up all the room, taking up all these animals' homes, and just destroying everything. And they're hunting a lot, but the next one is overhunting. So say they're overhunting, they're just killing them off too much. Lastly, the website Her Campus at Utah lists some animals that you didn't know were endangered. The animals that surprised me the most were river dolphins, the red panda, the ferret, the great white shark, and the polar bear. River dolphins have become endangered due to poaching and pollution destroying their habitat, so people throwing their garbage in the rivers and stuff. The red panda is mostly because of deforestation, cutting down their trees that they live in. There's the ferret. And that one made me really sad because I've really wanted a ferret over the past 2 years, and it's actually the black-footed ferret, which is the only species of ferret in the U.S. And they could only find 49 of them in the whole United States of America. And they have become endangered due to loss of habitat and disease. So it's going to be really sad if those go because I've really wanted one of them. Next is the great white shark, and this one really surprised me, but people hunt them for their teeth and fins, and they also get entangled in fish nets. And I did not expect a great white shark to be endangered because I didn't think anybody would want to get anywhere near them, but they hunt them for their teeth and fins, which I didn't know. And next is the polar bear. Polar bear, their climate change has actually destroyed their habitat. So their icy habitat has just been melted away and destroyed. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that there's as many endangered species as there actually is. I sure didn't. So if you found any of that interesting, you should research it. And I found a million articles about it and found out a lot of stuff that I didn't know before. And yeah, you should research about it if you like any of that. Thanks.